Oh, my sweet darling internet friends, gather close, for I must tell you the tragic tale of Our Lady of the Lake University, San Antonio, a place where dreams go to wither like roses forgotten in a crypt. Picture this, if you will, a grand old cathedral of learning, or so it claims, where the only holy experience is the ritualistic emptying of your wallet. Let me paint you a picture with the delicate brushstrokes of despair. I arrived bright-eyed, clutching my overpriced textbooks like they were tickets to a better life. But no, my loves, they were merely the first bricks in the wall of my suffering. The professors. Oh, dearest reader, imagine a parade of ancient crypt keepers, shuffling into lecture halls with all the enthusiasm of a deflated balloon. They speak in monotone hymns, their lectures drier than the Sahara, and should you dare to ask a question, you are met with a sigh so heavy it could sink the Titanic all over again. Why is this bad? Because education should spark joy, not the soul-crushing dread of a dentist appointment. And the campus? Oh ho, the campus, a place so devoid of life it makes a graveyard seem like a carnival. The fun here is watching the cobwebs gather in the student lounge, where the chairs are older than my grandmother and twice as creaky. The social scene, non-existent, the energy, like a funeral where no one liked the deceased. Why is this bad? Because college should be a time of connection, of late-night debates and chaotic friendships, not a hollow echo chamber of misery. But wait, it gets worse. The administration, my precious angels, operates like a medieval fiefdom where logic goes to die. Need help? Too bad. Their advising system is a labyrinth designed by a sadist, where you are passed from one disinterested bureaucrat to another until you either give up or collapse from exhaustion. And let us not forget the illustrious teaching program Scandalo. Yes, they promised accreditation like it was a given, only for graduates to discover their degrees were as valuable as monopoly money. Why is this bad? Because lying about credentials is not just unethical, it is educational malpractice, robbing students of time, money, and trust. And the classes, oh, my heart aches just remembering. Picture this: a biology professor who takes delight in mocking students in front of the whole class, like some twisted Shakespearean villain. No curves, no mercy, just public humiliation served with a side of institutional indifference. Why is this bad? Because learning should be nurturing, not a psychological horror show where your self-worth is the casualty. The dorms, a symphony of negeltroches as permanent residents, plumbing that groans like a dying animal, and security so lax you might as well hang a sign saying, "Welcome, thieves." Why is this bad? Because a home should be safe, not a health code violation waiting to happen. And the piece de resistance at baseball games where fans are banned for safety, as if watching a game in open air is akin to juggling live grenades. Meanwhile, the school pockets tuition like a pickpocket in a crowded market. Why is this bad? Because it is hypocrisy wrapped in bureaucracy, a slap in the face to the students who fund this circus. So here we are, my dear comrades in suffering. Our Lady of the Lake University, San Antonio, a place where potential is squandered, where hope is a currency they steal, and where the only lesson truly learned is regret. Tell me, my darling Shave, you too felt the sting of such betrayal. Share your sorrows below.
I am looking into crimes near Our Lady of the Lake University, San Antonio, and it feels heavy to talk about them. Businesses near Our Lady of the Lake University, San Antonio, are often small shops that rely on tourists who walk by after classes. They seem friendly, but some of them hide tricks. First, a women-esque clothing store close to the campus was part of a wire fraud that moved about $1.6 million. The owners used the shop as a cover to send illegal transfers. A tourist who bought a dress probably did not notice anything wrong at the register, but later the bank might have flagged the transaction. The victim likely called the bank, felt confused, and maybe left the city feeling distrustful. The owners were arrested, so the shop will probably close and the victims may get some money back after a long legal process. Next, shoe stores near Our Lady of the Lake University, San Antonio, are often hit by a credit card scheme. Thieves enter, use stolen cards, and distract staff while another person completes fake purchases. A visitor who tried on shoes could see a long line and feel uneasy. After the incident, the store manager might file a police report and increase security, while the thief might be caught later or disappear with the stolen money. The tourist probably leaves the store early and doubts buying anything there again. Another common trap is the gift card scam. Scammers call pretending to be county officials and tell tourists to buy prepaid cards at a nearby market and give the codes over the phone. A traveler who follows the instructions will lose the cash instantly. The victim will likely report the fraud to the police, feel embarrassed, and avoid similar requests. The scammers may be tracked through the phone call and face charges, but the loss for the tourist is already done. These patterns show that businesses near Our Lady of the Lake University, San Antonio, can be risky for short stays, and the consequences often follow the same sad cycle.
I will now explain how the businesses near Our Lady of the Lake University, San Antonio, are like. The overall picture is rather bleak. Most places suffer from a combination of poor safety, questionable cleanliness, overpriced offerings, and staff that seem to have forgotten the meaning of courtesy. It feels as if the area was designed to test the patience of anyone who hopes for a pleasant experience. I have walked the sidewalks, I have read the complaints, and I have pieced together a pattern that is hard to ignore. Malls in this neighborhood share a reputation for neglect. The large shopping center that sits close to the university is a perfect example. Visitors have reported frequent outbreaks of illness, infestations of tiny winged pests in the food areas, and a security presence that appears more like a paper tiger than a real guard. One shopper described a scene where a dog roamed the food court unattended, while security turned a blind eye. Another described a mysterious stain of blood on an elevator door that lingered for weeks, as if it were a souvenir. The parking lot becomes a maze of traffic jams that make leaving feel like an endurance test. The overall sense is that the mall has become a playground for thieves, rats, and forgetful maintenance staff. Spas that promise relaxation often turn into sources of stress. The On Riverwalk Spa at the Hyatt Regency is meant to be a sanctuary, yet the experiences shared by patrons paint a very different picture. Massages have been described as painful stretches that leave clients feeling more tense than before. The facilities have suffered from flooding, yet guests were never informed of the new location, forcing them to wander in confusion. Privacy is practically non-existent, with changing rooms that open directly onto the front desk, allowing strangers to glance at customers in their robes. The atmosphere is missing the calm quiet that a spa should provide, and the staff appear more interested in upselling than in genuine care. The overall impression is that the spa is a poorly disguised nail salon that charges a premium for a subpar experience. Indian cuisine in the vicinity suffers from a loss of authenticity and quality. The kitchen that markets itself as a traditional Indian restaurant often serves dishes that taste more like bland cafeteria fare. Customers have encountered naan that arrives frozen and dry, sauces that are overly sweet and lacking spice, and portions that are mysteriously smaller than advertised. Some reviewers even suspect that the establishment purchases pre-made frozen meals and pretends they are freshly prepared. The service is marked by indifferent staff, missing utensils, and a lack of basic hospitality. In short, the restaurant offers a shadow of what true Indian flavors should be. Coffee shops that try to attract hipsters with a cool vibe frequently fall short on service and taste. The local roasters have been described as a place where communication disappears after an order is placed, leaving subscribers waiting weeks for beans that never arrive. The baristas often seem uninterested, offering rude responses and serving drinks that taste like a generic blend of milk and bitterness. The atmosphere may be charming, yet the staff attitude makes the experience feel like a lesson in how not to greet a guest. Even the parking situation adds frustration, as there is no designated area for customers to leave their cars. Nightlife venues near the university appear to be riddled with inconsistency and exclusion. The popular Exchange Club has become known for arbitrary bans, aggressive security guards, and a bathroom that resembles a fish tank left unattended for months. Patrons have reported being kicked out for dancing, being questioned about their identity based on out-of-state identification, and experiencing a level of discrimination that feels more like a bad sitcom than a safe night out. The drinks are described as weak, and the staff seem to lack basic knowledge of cocktail preparation. The overall vibe is one of a club that values control over enjoyment. Boutique markets that aim to showcase local artisans often disappoint with rude cashiers and erratic operating hours. Visitors have walked in to find doors locked, signs stating a mysterious, closed until further notice, with no explanation on social media. The staff at the registers are frequently described as unfriendly, making shoppers feel as if they are an inconvenience rather than a valued customer. Prices are judged to be high for the quality of items, and the overall atmosphere resembles an indoor flea market rather than a curated craft space. Wine bars that promise a refined tasting experience tend to deliver overpriced drinks and a disengaged service crew. Patrons have been charged for half a glass of wine at the price of a full serving, only to be ignored for long periods while waiting for a server. Some reviewers felt judged based on their appearance, with staff